Hello everybody, how are you doing? This shop behind me is actually the same shop that I cleaned up the other day and made really nice with a lot of open space. However, just take a look around. We're going to flip the camera and walk you through and show you what a disaster I made of this shop while I was sanding my Adirondack chairs. As you walk into the shop, I've got a whole pile of just pieces that I cut off of boards. Now, we did use these. They got double duty. We use those for laying the parts on to paint them to keep them off the ground, as well as to keep the chairs up off the ground. I've got another pile right here that these are cutoffs from the bandsaw pieces that I removed, the waste pieces, and then from the table saw, little pieces that I removed. And between these two piles, I'm going to sort them. The larger pieces I'll keep, but I've got these two plastic buckets. We're going to load these up and set them in the shed because these are going to go, the majority of this is going to go to the burn pile. Now, if we just sort of flip up here, these are some pieces that I cut off that were left over. Take a look at the dust on there. The table here has been kind of dusted off, but working on the project, these are all the tools that I was using, and then some of the tools I used for another project that I did for my wife out on the front porch, or the back porch. I've got to clean, look at the sawdust on the floor. That was all clean, and just look at how thick it is. Now, I did kind of go through the main areas and clean up some of it, but you can still see a lot on the floor. That's got to be cleaned up. Take a look at my bandsaw, my table. Just look at that. It's just disgusting. All of this needs to be picked up. This router table needs to get put back into its corner right over there. We're going to work on that today. Look at the dust, just cleaned everything. Everything is just covered in dust. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's ridiculous how much dust is in my shop. The window, look, it looks yellow. That's actually white paint, and it looks yellow from the dust. I'm sure up top in the loft is filthy, but check it out. Now, the hose over here, take a look at this. It actually is not that full, but the dust kind of gathers around the loops, and I can bang on that, and it will drop. Look at my lathe, how much dust is on my lathe. Boom. It's just ridiculous, the amount of dust in here. Look over there at the grinder. It's everything is just covered, absolutely covered in dust. And it is also mussed up where I just sort of junked things up a little bit. Take a look at the dust on there. I've also got this table right here that I started with these chaos blanks I want to get back to, but I've got to get the shop cleaned first. Take a look at this. That's ridiculous. Boom, RJB. My turntable, oh, look at this turntable. Look at that. Jeez, that's just nasty. I'm going to pass through there quickly because there's some addresses on some of those boxes. I need to talk about some things that some people sent me. I've got some more. These are going to be a giveaway coming up in the near future. I promise you guys I'm going to have some more giveaways. I got to get through this camera lens purchase and these SD cards and a couple of things like that so that I've got money for postage. And then I'm going to do another giveaway. But this person asked to remain anonymous, but they sent me some awesome Corian blanks that I want to get to you guys. There's another box for the burn pile. Another box for the burn pile. Somebody said, oh, I can't believe you're going to burn that burl. Don't worry. This burl is not going to get burned. I think I talked about this before. My buddy Corey wants to get a hold of this burl. He's got a large bandsaw, and he wants to slab it up into some nice blocks for bowls and just different things like that. And I told him that if he slabs it, I'll split it with him. He can have a bunch of the wood. I just want enough to make some cool pins. So take a look over here at my planer. I mean, it's just this shop. I'm embarrassed at how filthy it is because, I had it so clean and so nice looking, and just everything just got kind of shoved around. So today, I'm going to clean the shop. We are going to start by putting things away. Especially, I'm going to start here. Everything on this table, I'm going to pick up. I'm going to dust off with my little hand brush, and I'm going to put it where it goes. The drawers were shut, so inside of the drawers is clean, but the tools need to get dusted off before they go back in. The second thing I'm going to do once this is cleaned up right here is all this wood on the floor is going to get gone through and get that off the floor. At that point, I can start working this away. We'll get the corner cleaned out over there, the router put up, etc., etc. And I'm going to spend the day cleaning. And then at the end of the day, once I get all the loose items put up, I'm going to bring the leaf blower in here. We're going to open that door, and we're going to open the man door back there. We're going to come in the man door and blow everything that way. So we're going to find a lot of dust on everything that's just going to get blown out of this shop, hopefully. So I'll keep you guys posted, and hopefully by the end of the day, we can have the shop clean and make it a place that I want to be. Right now, I'm scared to come out here because anything I bump, I'm covered in sawdust. So let's get busy with the cleaning, and I'll keep you guys posted along the way. Well, I sure didn't get very far. I picked up a hammer, dusted it off, put it in the cabinet, and then I picked up this drill bit, and it reminded me that I need to put this hook on the wall out here. I mentioned it in the video where this is away from the wall. I'm just going to come in here, and right there, we're going to drill a hole, and we're going to put the anchor in there, and then we'll thread this in. And the idea is just to pull this towards the house so that it's not flopping around. So let me go ahead and mark it and get it drilled, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Not too bad. It's against the wall. There's a little hook that I made. It's just a little L hook, and I shot some black paint on it. That's some engine paint that is rated for very high temperatures. And now it sits against the wall and looks really nice on the porch. I just finished taking a little break for lunch. I would like to show you the progress that I've made in the shop. It's not done yet. I think I might be halfway. You can see my floor is way cleaner than it was. I'm happy with that. I moved that big burl over here. Now on top of the saw, those 3 boxes are full of wood, and then this little plastic tub is also full of wood, and those are going to go out to the shed and sit there until we use the burn pit. So that'll be leaving this area. You can see the floor is nice and neat over there. I've got the router back in place, got the piping run back to my saw. That's all been dusted off. I've cleaned this up to about there. You can see the dust as we go up. I gotta get the ladder and get up top. I've cleaned this off. This whole table has been cleaned. All of these tools have been cleaned. That board is sitting there, but I'm trying to decide on what I want to do with that board. It's too long to really put anywhere, so I'm trying to think. I got a project idea that I need to do, and I may actually use that board for it. This area here, I pulled all 3 of these items out of this area, cleaned in there, and then pushed them back in. And like I said, everything's been cleaned. I dusted all that off. Those have been dusted off. This has been dusted off, all except the top. I'll dust the top off when I go up and clean those. And then when I'm up there, I want to pull the filter out of here. You can see it's really dusty up there. I'm going to take it outside and blow air through it from the backside, clean it out to get a little more life out of it. I've got the jointer cleaned off, just have my hose in the floor because I've been using that. As I dust things off, I'll usually have the shop vac on to sort of suck the dust up. I stopped at the jointer. I was just preparing to clean the lathe table when I got called in for lunch. I have not cleaned my work table. That's going to be the last thing I clean, but I did dust off. Remember the saw, how dirty it was, and remember the name that I wrote on the cabinet. That's all been cleaned off. So I'm in this area now. I'm going to go ahead and start here, and we're going to work our way around the back, and then we'll come up this side. I've already kind of dusted off my compressor. We'll come up this side, get that cleaned off, and that'll finish this area back here. And when that area is done, I'll get the ladder, I'll bring it back in the shop, we'll go up, we'll clean all of that. And the last thing we're gonna clean is this, because a lot of that stuff, and I piled a few things on there, but a lot of that stuff needs to find a home. It didn't find a home from the first time. So we'll be working on that. So it's time for me to get busy. I'm gonna head over here to the lathe, and I was just getting ready to put away some of the stuff that's laying around the table. I think I put away a set of needle nose pliers, and then I got the call that it was lunchtime. So that's where I'm at. I'll keep you guys posted on the progress. I really think I'll get this done today, which is great. I've got that fence project outside I want to do maybe tomorrow. That won't take long at all. And then hopefully I'll get a chance to start thinking about the next project, which now with all these scraps that I've got over here in this corner, I think I got enough scraps to build the little platform over here that I wanted to put the shop back under and put the barrel on top of and the air conditioner on. So I may have enough to do that. We'll have to kind of measure and figure. So I'll keep you guys posted what happens there. Well, I finally finished cleaning the shop. It's not perfect because, I've moved a lot of dust, cleaned up a lot of dust, but a lot of dust went into the air and basically resettled. However, it is probably 85% cleaner than it was. Let me give you a real quick shop tour. This is something I'm planning on doing on my other channel as well, doing a more in-depth shop tour, but I still got to get this cooler box fixed. It is pouring down rain right now, so I haven't moved these to the shed. Once I do, this will clean off. I'll carry that in the house with me, and I'm going to go to the thrift shop and pick up a dish that is at least 10 inches in diameter so that my 10-inch saw blades will fit in there so that I can clean them. And then I do have a wheel that broke off of my table saw, and I've got some JB weld to fix that. So that pretty well takes care of the the area here, and that'll clean up real quick once those are gone. Just got my tripod sitting there. It's always sitting somewhere. Router table back in the corner. Got my sled up top. Went ahead and dusted off all of that. I did not pull that filter today because it's raining. I want to fire up the compressor full of air and take that out in the yard and blow it out. This table is almost spotless. I got everything cleaned up. Cleaned the face there. I cleaned off the top of that cabinet. Looking good. This is just the air. I need to get this. I got to find somewhere to store this ladder. I've been using it for holding my camera tripod, but I think I'm going to mount something on that pole there or to the wall maybe to avoid vibration from the dust collector and have it come out and hang over the lathe. I haven't figured it out yet. I'll draw something up, but I got to get that out of here. That corner looks pretty good. The jointer, everything's clean on the jointer. Back here on the lathe table, the table is clean. I got the dust collector hooked back up. Everything is removed from the table except what I need, the lathe and the sharpening system. Everything's cleaned there. This was a nightmare to clean this area back here. The dust was everywhere, all over the drawers. This was filthy. That still looks like a wreck. I've got to finish that, but I pulled everything off there, dusted it, swept it, cleaned off my metal lathe. Everything down here was cleaned. The chair is just sitting here. It gets moved around the shop to wherever I need to sit. A lot of times it's in front of my bench. Went through the maker cart, cleaned everything off. Now I do have a ton of clamps on top because shelf right there is full of all of my Chaos glue ups, and we're going to get back to doing the Chaos glue ups here. That'll be one of the next things we do in the shop. Just got the compressor parked there. I need a good location. I may mount my compressor up top on the loft and then just run the cabling or the tubing down here for it. I'm not 100% sure yet. That area I got all cleaned up over there. It looks nice. Everything's clean. I took everything out of there, dusted it off. We'll talk about this table in a minute. These are some upcoming projects. Got the turntable cleaned off, the scroll saw cleaned off. Look at my tabletop here. I think my son wants that in his room. I'm not 100% sure, so I need to test it out, make sure it works. But take a look at my tabletop. It's ready for work. I got all the drawers dusted off. Got the planer dusted off. I did not. I need to empty out everything in the top of that toolbox there and clean it. I did not do that, and I left the fan out because it's starting to get muggy and hot, and I'm going to need it. And there's some more glue needs to go back in the house. But pretty much that kind of gives you an overview of the shop. I got a nice open area again in the middle of the floor, which I really like for being able to move. Let me just kind of move around here and give you a good wide shot of everything. I'm very happy with my shop and very happy with my shop layout. We will do a more in-depth shop tour coming up in the near future. Now let's talk about this. These are the blanks that Ernie Barraga sent me. And I went out to Classic Nib and bought a Junior Joshua fountain pen kit. So I'm excited about that. That'll be getting turned soon. That just came in. Right here, I've got Brian Wrights sent this to me. Check out this blank. Isn't that gorgeous? And look at this. He made me a Dodge Challenger pen blank. I love it. Love it. Brian, thank you so much. I want to make sure that the address doesn't show there. Let me flip this one over. This one came from Ed Sempers. And look at this. Ed said he thought I needed a small tool rest for my lathe because I've been turning between centers. This is great. You put on your lathe, you can run this right up, right next to the pin, and it's a round bar on the top, so it's nice and smooth. This is going to be great. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. This right here, these are Corian blanks that came from a person wanting not to be mentioned. So I'm not going to mention their name, but those are going to be giveaways once I kind of get caught up on the YouTube money thing. I bought this new power strip, and I plan to mount it probably here underneath of my turntable. And on this table, I'm going to mount, or below the turntable as well, I'm going to mount these two battery chargers for my two drill presses. And somewhere I need to mount my pencil sharpener. So those are moved over here. This is an Angel that my wife has, and we had a very bad windstorm, blew the Angel off the porch and broke its wing. I'm going to epoxy that for her. I've got those pin kits I got from my buddy. Remember the fountain pen I turned, the last fountain pen that I turned on the channel? That fountain pen is junk. It is absolute junk. The kit, the top, comes loose all the time. There's a ton of issues with it. I do not like it, so I've got all these kits I need to do something with. I'm thinking about donating a few of them to someone who, I have a person in mind who's a good friend of mine who's a new turner, and I think that he might enjoy turning them. It'll be a good experience for him. The rest of them, I don't know. I mean, I hate to even give them away because they're really just junk. And then my graphic equalizer, I don't have a use for it, so I'm thinking about mounting it right under here. So that way when I use the turntable, I can adjust the bass and the treble and just kind of play with it. I mean, it's not needed, but it's just sitting there doing nothing. So why not go ahead and mount it and put it into use? The shop is just in great shape. I'm so happy with it. And man, I couldn't be happier. Next project up was to fix my neighbor's fence. It's pouring down rain today, going to be raining all day tomorrow, so I really don't think I'm going to be out working on the fence in the rain. You know, the wood will swell up. I need to let it dry and catch it when it's dry. It'll be a quick project, nothing too crazy. But my wife just got back. My son wants an accent wall in his room, so I'm going to go in the house, get showered up, get all this dust off of me, get it out, just out of my face and everything, because it feels, the dust is just making me sneeze. But I'm going to get all this dust off me. Then I'm going to go tape his room up and prep the wall. She went and picked up the paint. I'm going to prep the wall, and tomorrow I'm going to paint the accent wall in his room. So that's it for me. I'm done for today. It's been a heck of a great day. I hated to spend this much time cleaning the shop. I wished I would have done the sanding before I did the shop rearrange, because I did such a thorough job cleaning it then. It was actually probably cleaner than it is now. I really wanted to run the blower once I got all the loose stuff picked up. I'll run that the next time I get it out, which whatever day the rain lets up and we can cut the yard, I'll bring the blower in here. And the same time I go out to the shed to get the blower, I'll take all this wood out there. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoy this video, and keep your fingers crossed I can get this lens for this camera, get it all figured out, get a couple video cards, and start doing some decent recording on the new camera. And I hope this one, the quality is good enough just for shooting for this channel, because it'll keep me making some quick videos for you guys. All right, have a great evening. That's it for me. Take care.